One of the things that I'm hearing very frequently from a lot of people, whether it be our clients at the mutual fund store or listeners to the mutual fund show, is that, Adam, you're missing the big picture. There's all these things that are going on, and this time it's different than it's ever been before. This time we have a president who is on the verge of being a socialist, or we have a Congress that is spending money wildly and crazily, or the European economy is going to collapse, or we have an oil spill, whatever the case may be. You're missing how the big picture is different this time than last. Well, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to illustrate it through the use of the nice folks at Time Magazine. Here's the kinds of things that we're seeing. Number one, is the U.S. going broke? I mean, the concept here being that the government's spending so much money that we're going to spend ourselves into the poorhouse. Another cover, the monster deficit, and how the deficits that we're running are a big black hole. Another cover, can capitalism survive? Are we in a new socialist era that is going to bring down the United States of America and our capitalist system? One more, the new economy. This time, see that we're in a world economy and there's computers and everything else, and this time things are different than they've been in the past. These are the kinds of things that people are worried about, right? Let me put these into perspective. This first cover, is the U.S. going broke? That's from 1972, okay? People were asking that same question that they're asking now, yet our economy has grown and thrived and the stock market has gone up considerably. The monster deficit, that one comes from 1984, okay? 26 years ago. People were asking the same thing about the deficit then that they're asking now, and yet, because of the productiveness of the American people, because of the ingenuity of our financial system, we made it through the deficit then. We'll make it through the deficit again this time. Can capitalism survive? That's from 1975. So these same kinds of questions of whether capitalism is alive and well and thriving, they were asking those same questions in 1975. Lastly, the new economy. This one comes from 1983. And the point is that these things seem different to us now because we live in real time. We don't have the benefit of being able to see a chart that shows where the markets are now, where the U.S. is in terms of economic power with the future part of the chart. It's only in hindsight that we get to know that the story's going to end okay. I contend this is like a movie. You know, we've seen this movie before, and I know it ends, and that it's going to end well. Quite honestly, there are a lot of people out there from news networks or financial networks or on the internet or in magazines. There are people who are fanning the flames because fear is a very potent motivational aid. So if you want people to vote a certain way, you can fan fears and it works. If you want people to buy certain products, you can fan fears and they'll do so. Quite honestly, that fear is a much stronger motivator than reason. And I'm not making light of the fact that we have some very serious issues in our world. And I think that there are issues that are worth being concerned about. There are things that we need to pay attention to. And as we put together our investment strategy for our clients, and when I put together my outlook, we base it on the hard economic data. And we also consider the nature of world events, headlines that are going on. We certainly consider those. But what we don't do is we don't make day-to-day rash decisions because of a certain headline. And another thing we don't do is we don't become so all-consumed by these fears that it prevents us from doing the right things for our clients. See, our clients choose us at the mutual fund store because we make our investment decisions on an intellectual basis, not on an emotional basis. We look at things like, is the economy growing or contracting? What do future corporate profits look like? What are the relative levels of inflation? What does the employment situation look like? All those kinds of things. Those are the things that help us make decisions. It's be very easy in today's world to say this time things are different because of this or this or this. I think with hindsight, we'll find that it really wasn't that different. Just like the people who read Time magazine back on each of those dates I showed you earlier, they were feeling that way. This time is different than it's ever been before, but it didn't work out that way. I think it's going to be the same this time.